football games as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo, welcome to the YESSIR Raider Talk. Your boy Eric, and also welcome to the 2-for-1 Nation podcast. Man, you already know what it is. Another episode, another week, a week of. I mean, hey, they said in the chat already, we can't have nothing nice, man. We got a lot of things to talk about today, man. We're gonna start off with the breaking news, but first, man, if you guys don't know who I am, YESSIR Raider Talk. Your boy Eric, one half of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, and on this side over here, rock side, there we go. My brother here, the other side of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man, home of the congregation and the Brown Crackers, my brother, Raider Twuan. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? 2-for-1 Nation podcast, two brothers from one nation. Y'all know it's the Raider Nation. We got a whole bunch of talk about, man. Let's jump right into it, man. Blessings to everybody.
Yup. And if you guys are living under a rock, y'all know that a lot of people woke up or got off of work to some pretty much, some may say devastating news, some may say expected news, and other people may say surprising news. And of course, Davante Adams wants pretty much out, has requested a trade. He would rather be somewhere else. Now, of course, that is coming out of Ian Rappaport. This is not no joke no more, no rumors, no nothing. This is out of Ian Rappaport. Every single media outlet, Raider reporters, content creators, everybody. Now it's the real deal. Now it's not no rumors, no nothing. And now it kind of makes me feel like, and we'll get to it, maybe all those rumors back then was not that far a lie. And before we get into that, shout out to everybody that's coming on in, man. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Shout out to Raider Paul, man. What's good, Raider Paul? Good to see you. Oh, hold on, let me see. We can never get enough of this though. Shout out to Daniel Berry. Was good. We can't have nothing as a fact. All lies was good. Anthony Estrada. Joseph was good, man. Feel like this team is slowly losing more key players every season. We'll talk about it, man. Shout out to Joseph. What's good? Gord Peterson. Salute. Kevin Lurker. Welcome back to Dysfunction. Salute Nation. What's good? Good to see you, man. Starting to think AP was talking about DA when mentioning business decisions. We'll talk about it, man. And it kind of does look like it too, right? Shout out to Anthony Estrada. What's good? And hopefully I skip anybody. Shout out to everybody coming on in slowly but surely, man. Shout out to Raider Pete. Not good news. Very unpleasant news. Just another wasted season. They better win Sunday. It's going to be a finger pointing all over again. And we go talk about it, man. And, let's, might as well kick it off, right? The Davante. Wait, first, how you feeling after the game before we get into all that? Let's talk about some positive before going into the negative with Davante. How did you feel about the Browns game, man? How did you feel about that and stuff like that?
To be honest with you, man, I don't even know if I can be positive about that.
Yeah.
Just keeping it. I say I spit my Raider gospel. That was a team we were supposed to beat. Clear cut. You know what I'm saying? The things that we had on that against that team, we should have been. It shouldn't have came down to a last minute type of situation. All that. Now, am I happy that we won? Of course, but how we're winning and how we're taking care of business, I can't speak too positive about it. Now there is some guys that did step up. You know what I'm saying? There were some people that were injured. if you want to say it like that, because of the speculations and stuff like that. But there were some guys that stepped up, and I'm glad that they did, because if they didn't, this would have been another real rough situation.
Yeah.
But hey, we're 2-2.
It's a fact. It's a fact. And so hold on, let me so of course, with the Browns game, just to give it, because I think most of the conversation today is going to be on Davante Adams. But of course, the Browns game, we should have won. We won. Exactly. A lot of people stepped up. I still think now Madison deserves more carries. And it already got said that he was gonna get more carries. The offense looked a little bit more freely without Davante, whether you want to believe it or not. And at the end of the day, this offense needs to get it together, because the defense can only do so much. Shout out to Snowden doing his job, next man up mentality. Of course, he did his thing. And then obviously Isaiah Palomar is another one that did his thing. But let's go with the talk of the town, right? Let's just dive into it, man. Davante Adams, man. And this is a question for everybody. And let me shout out everybody that's in here. Matt Gore Peterson was good. John Leon, salute. Good to see you, man. Hope all as well. Squeaked by Cleveland. That's a fact. Man, though, at the end of the day, this division still tied 3-way for a second. If anything, just trade them in the offseason, see if we can make a run. Hey, we'll see, man. We'll talk about it right now. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Raider. Ben, what's good, Ben? Good to see you. Hope all as well, man. Go watch Jacoby Myers' most recent interview. He's the type of dude we need more of. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Westside Media in the building. Was good, Earn. Good to see you. Hope all as well, man. Shout out to y'all coming down and in. Raider Ben, everybody, man. Salute. Good to see you guys here, man. But here's a question to everybody, man. Just a question in general. Davante Adams, diva or not? Twuan, take it away.
Not at all. Not at all. And I know some people are going to disagree with me, but that's just what you get when you have a number one wide receiver. Number one wide receiver is going to want the ball. And unfortunately, as a wide receiver, your success is really based off of other factors. Now, it can go to play calling with the coaching. It can be the offensive line not, allowing the quarterback to throw the ball, or a bad quarterback. Now, you tell me what we got here on the Raiders. I can tell you we got at least two of those three, if not all three. Are you know what I'm saying? People want to question Luke Getsy. People want to talk about our offensive line being bad. And tell me when has Minshew played a complete game? I think his best game was actually when he actually played 2 quarters of a game. So, it's one of those situations when you have a number one wide receiver, that's what you're going to get. I was watching, and if you're watching the NFL and you watch Monday Night Football with the Dolphins, their quarterback wasn't playing well. And what were their wide receivers doing on the sideline? They were pissed off. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's Tyreek Hill and Waddle that were pissed off on the sideline. So it's not a diva situation. They know that their bag and the money that they make is really predicated on other, you know what I'm saying? There's things that are in their control, but then there's a lot of things as a wide receiver that's out of their control. And that's the quarterback play and play call. So, and like I said, offensive line not blocking to allow them the space. So is Davante a diva? I don't think so. I think his status has proven that he's one of the top wide receivers in the league. And because he's top wide receiver in this league, there's just certain things that you got to do having a top wide receiver. It's almost like having a situation, and I'm not saying he's exactly like that, but like saying, Jerry Rice was on the team, and you're not going to, look at Jerry Rice and get him active in offensive play. Like, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We and I said this, a bunch of other times because, Davante's talked about not getting the ball and stuff like that. Hey, when you start looking at all these other wide receivers, do they complain about not getting the ball? No. Does Chase have to worry about getting touches? No. Does Jefferson got to worry about getting touches? No. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows offensively they're going to get their touches. So, Why are we not doing the same thing with DA? Now I understand, if they're double teaming and there's a decoy there, whatever the situation is, he's pulling coverage. Okay, cool, we get that. But there's still an aspect of having a top wide receiver and you including them into the offense. I'm not saying you got to force feed him, but you got to keep it honest to allow everything else to feed around him. That's why you have a number one wide receiver. So I see it all the time with all these other wide receivers when their quarterback's not playing well. So why am I not going to expect that from Davante Adams? Like I wouldn't consider him a diva. I think we as an organization, excuse me taking so long, but this is the facts. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, we failed him in a lot of situations. And it wasn't just this season. You know what I'm saying? So is he a diva? To my opinion, no.
I also did, you feel me? I also agree on that tend of he's not a diva. At the end of the day, a diva to me is kind of like, how would I describe it? Maybe like, oh, fuck this organization, fuck that, fuck the way AB went about it. I think that's more of a diva than what it is. But at the end of the day, bro, this is the reality of it, and this is the reality of this year, right? We don't got a quarterback like the top quarterbacks. Let's just throw that out there now, right? That's the reality of it. But there's time and time again throughout the year where, I'm going to push back a little. Davante Adams has dropped passes that he shouldn't have dropped. And at the end of the day, maybe it's him lack of effort or maybe all those things. But at the end of the day, bro, he also got done wrong. And, the writing was always on the wall, but I always kind of took the back seat on it. I didn't want to like say it out loud or publicly. I just always had in the back of my head because I was like, I don't want to put that negative shit in the atmosphere. I don't want to think that Davante Adams is going to leave and stuff like that. But let's be honest. Let's go back to when he got traded. As much as if you're on the positive, and I hate to bring this up because I know it opens up the floodgates, but whether you were on the positive side of Derek Carr or the negative side of Derek Carr, Davante Adams, one of the reasons he came is because of his best friend, Derek Carr. Whether you agree or not, that's the reality of it. That was the promise. Hey, you're with your best friend. Come over here. You loved the Raiders since you were young. Here you go. Perfect opportunity. You grew up around where they originate. Boom. Perfect. Boom. He came over here, right? With his best friend. Then the next year, you get rid of his best friend, right? Pretty much you get rid of his best friend. After that, you promise him, hey, you're going to have a little bit of a say in the next quarterback. We're going to get you a quarterback that could get you the ball, stuff like that. We gave him Jimmy Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels. Come on, bro. Come on. Like, that fucked him over even more, right? Then Davante Adams over here, like, on a thin ice, and he's like, all right, let's see what we got this year. And then, Minshew, which Minshew hasn't been all the greatest, but he also has been decent, but he hasn't been all the greatest, as he's been promised that they were going to go all in for a quarterback. So he got done wrong, right? But also, we got to see from a standpoint from both sides of the spectrum. DA also, that doesn't excuse him making business decisions the way he was, dropping passes, but he also did the Michael Jackson. He ended up the next play getting a touchdown. And I will say that at the end of the day, he redeemed himself in that sense, right? But when you do certain things that doesn't show that you want to be here, it kind of makes me kind of like, okay, you know what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I get it. You ain't getting the ball, but at the end of the day, bro, there's times where these top receivers in the league don't get the ball. There was a game where Tyreek Hill hardly even got the ball and Jalen Waddle took over. Like, it's just the name of the game. Whatever works. And I think this is the case of a Derek Carr situation where it's better to let him go and better for us to let him go. And it's just a matter of time that it was supposed to happen. I thought it was going to last another year, but it didn't. And, people need to see the reality of it. We promised Davante Adams a lot of things, and it didn't happen. They got rid of his best friend, and people continue to say that, hey, Carr's not the reason he came. Yeah, he's not the only reason, but he is a reason. He is a reason. No matter what, he is a reason why he came. Whether you want to agree to it or not, how much you hate him or not, that was one of the reasons, and you got rid of him. So now moving forward, I think it's better for us to leave him alone. I think trade, and I think two destinations, and I think it's the obvious destinations, and I think you guys can mostly agree on the destinations: the New York Jets and the New Orleans Saints.
You know, Eric, I think,
Mhm.
you know, and as you were talking, I wanted to jump in, but I wanted you to, you know, get your piece off.
Mhm.
You know, it's one of those situations with him. I don't feel like, you know, it was really a situation as of, oh, I'm not getting touches, but where our offense is moving.
Yeah.
Well, in this situation, what is really moving on our offense? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we say? Oh yeah, we cooking right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got anything like that. Like, it would be one situation if everybody was eating. You know what I'm saying? And Davante's mad because, you know, he ain't getting touches, but everybody else is eating. No, we're in a situation where our offense is that bad. So he's like, dude, what am I supposed to do? And like, even with Derek, you know, I'm gonna talk about Derek Carr because it's a fact. He came over here because he knew that Derek Carr could throw him the ball. The reason why he liked Aiden O'Connell, even though Aiden O'Connell was a rookie, he knew that no matter where DA was going to be, that Aiden O'Connell would be able to hit him with the pass. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for us to even bail on that, not even using AOC to deliver the ball, you know what I'm saying, to our top wide receiver is a whole nother situation. Yeah. So to have Minshew, you know what I'm saying, like one of the passes that really sticks out to me was when DA was going to the sideline, you know what I'm saying, to try to catch the ball, and he's throwing it behind him on an interception. Not on the same page, obviously not being accurate. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of things with that. So it's not, like I said, it's not just this year. It's a lot of things combined into that. How are we going to say, oh yeah, we're going to move on from DC, and then say, oh yeah, we got quarterbacks that are coming in here that are better than them, and they still weren't better than him? I'm still waiting for a quarterback that's currently on this roster that's better than Derek Carr since Derek Carr left. And I'm just keeping it real. So, you know, if he feels like, hey, you know, you want to roll with Minshew, I'm not gonna sit here, you know what I'm saying, and lose out on, you know what I'm saying, another 1,000-yard receiving career because of your lack of getting stuff done. You guys knew when I came over here, I need someone to make sure that we got somebody to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? And you guys failed to do that. Or you failed to put him out there on the field. I'll say it like that.
Now, I will say this, right? And it comes down to kind of what the chat is saying. I see a lot of people. I'll get to your comments right now, and you guys are giving me a good idea right now, or not a good idea, but an idea that just popped up in my head, right? And it's still a good idea, right? And a good comment and stuff like that. What you guys are saying. There's a root cause to all of this. You know, whether you want to blame McDaniels, you want to blame AP, you want to blame Tom Telesco, whoever you want to blame, right? There's an underlying problem. And this problem has been here for years. Now, you know, it kind of comes down to Mark Davis. And, you know, as much as I gave Mark Davis credit, which I did give him credit because he brought in an AP, which, you know, say what you want to say about AP, he really wants to win. He really wants to win, bro. He really wants to win. And at the end of the day, Davante Adams, you know, he's not a loser himself either. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you could call him a diva, loser. He's not a loser, bro. It has to go to the matter of time that nobody, the higher ups, the very higher ups, didn't put pressure on the people they brought in to be like, hey, one of the most important positions in all of the NFL is the quarterback. Do everything you can to execute that. He didn't put pressure. And as an owner, you got to put pressure, bro. You have to put pressure. You have to. You look at the people like Kansas City Chiefs, for instance, right? The Patriots, right? They have owners, the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys are fucking shit in the postseason, in the playoffs. Their owners are like, hey, do what you gotta do. For instance, Cowboys, do what you gotta do to keep Dak Prescott. Do what you gotta do to keep CD. Do what you gotta do. And they did it. Same thing with the Chiefs. They had Alex Smith. They were doing shit for years. They're like, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Bring in the coach. Bring in a freaking quarterback. Bring in these guys. They put pressure. Mark Davis doesn't put pressure. And at the end of the day, Mark Davis is a smart business guy, man. He's one heck of a smart business guy. He's a smart business guy, and I'll tell you that. But at the end of the day, this has been a problem for years, whether it was Davante Adams or other players or other coaches. And I will say, and this is on the AP count, right? The way AP hit that like button on social media, say what you want to say, it was childish. Whatever he was doing, regardless, it was. But at the end of the day, it happened. I don't think it's a huge deal in my opinion. I don't think it's a huge deal. It is. I think it's the matter of fact that you know you go out there, you go on a presser like today, which I need to pop it up, but if you guys missed the presser today, he came out. They gave him a million questions about Davante Adams, stuff like that, yada yada yada, so on and so on. And he came out and said, "Hey, we're looking forward to the Broncos. We're looking forward to the Broncos. That's between me and Davante Adams. We're going for." So we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, guys, don't you feel me? Don't say that he's gonna for sure get traded because it's still up in the air. He requested it. It could be something like, "Hey, I'm requesting a trade because I want to know what's going on. Are we gonna make moves? Are we gonna do something like this you guys promised me?" I think it's more of that because I think Davante Adams, deep down inside, he don't want to leave, man. He wants to retire here, but things are pushing him away. Things are pushing him away. And when people get pushed away, they eventually can't hold it no more. And I can't even fault him for that. So,
I think I think it also alluded to, what I'm saying, the conversations and the meetings that they had. You know what I'm saying? I think he probably was a vocal piece in those meetings, you know what I'm saying, and was saying, "Hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be here much longer to, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna sit here and watch you guys suck." Like, you know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Like, and yeah, we're 2-2. Oh yeah, that's great. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we still haven't even played a complete game. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be talking about it a little earlier, but a little later. But how many times are we going to have our defense bail us out? So
yeah.
I don't blame them. Like, I'm not going to sit here and you guys think that this is what we're doing right now is cool. I'm not going to sit here for that. So whether it's a flair, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm requesting a trade as a flair. You guys need to figure out if you guys want me around. If you guys want me around, I need X, Y, and Z to be taken care of. And that might be it. That might, like you said, it might be, hey, I need X, Y, and Z taken care of. And we know that the X, Y, and Z is ultimately trying to figure out how we're going to win some games here.
Yeah. Let me shout out everybody that's coming in real quick before we continue. Jeremy Stoots was good. Adams has the most TDs in NFL since he's joined us. He's still getting his look. Shout out to Jeremy Stoots. Shout out to SoCal Sal. Vic Sacramento was good. My 2 cents. Salute. Raider Chaos. Salute to you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming on in. Earn, I don't know if I salute you, but salute. Fanbow podcast was good. Salute. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Cool Kev. Salute. All eyes. Salute. Everybody coming on in. Mark keeps letting people do players dirty is going to backfire on us. We're going to end up with only rookies and players lucky to be in the league. That's a fact. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. Nobody home was good. Yeah, I know. Just shut up and play the fact. Shout out to nobody home in the building. Avakazi Raider was good. Good to see you, man. Salute to everybody coming on in. If you guys can, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'll greatly appreciate it. And of course, man, I want to take like a little bit intermission. You know what segment, man. And I don't know, you feel me? If you got somebody, but you want to do it on the fly, but I'm gonna give this to you, Twuan, because it has to do with something like this. I don't know. Of course, if you guys don't know the segment, man, you already know what it is. It's one of my favorite segments because when Twuan gets going, he gets going. But of course, it's called What You Doing Wednesdays, man. Twuan, let them know, man.
Hey, What You Doing Wednesdays is where we reflect on the past game, win or lose. And when we watch the game, there's somebody that we yelling at saying, "What are you doing?" And definitely you guys need to do that in the chat. So if you guys are watching this, go ahead and hit that WYD in all caps and let me know who you feel like you're yelling at. What are you doing? This week, is unfortunately, I was trying to hold it on. I was trying to keep hope alive, but I think I'm about to jump onto the, I don't want to say the bandwagon, but I'm just going to jump onto on the hype that everybody else is on.
Yeah.
This guy, man, Luke Getsy, what are you doing? I'm tired of seeing you not executing and getting things done offensively. You know what? I was trying to hold on this. You know what I'm saying? I kept seeing people, oh, Getsy ain't making the right calls and da. And I was like, no, it's execution. No, it's on Getsy. Man, you think one quarter or a half of a quarter is going to be good? You know what I'm saying? Making calls. You want us to run the ball, and I was glad that we were running the ball. You know, the one thing that you was doing that actually was working in the first half was running the ball to the outside. And what did you do in the second half? You bailed from it. Okay? Mm-hmm. And what are you doing? You think Minshew is like that? How many times have we seen Minshew throw the ball and how accurate he's been as a quarterback? What are you doing thinking that you can trust him to throw the ball and execute in the fourth quarter? Run the ball, especially running on the outside. That's what was actually working. If you actually use your eyes, maybe you would see that's what we needed to do. And again, here we go with the defense, bailing us out at the end of the game in the red zone. Because why? Because you can't make the proper calls. So what are you doing? We're trying to win, baby. And it ain't because of you and your piss poor calling.
Well, there you go. But I will say, man, they need to get it together. But a little bit, I will say a little bit. They're starting to get it together a little bit. And I just hope that they could continue going down the great path and not the bad path. I think if they start getting going, we might be a better football team than we have soon. I mean, then sooner than later. And at the end of the day, I just want to. All I wanted was the run game to continue and to continue the way it did against the Browns. With Massey getting more carries, hopefully that's the case. Jackson Powers made a huge difference on that O line. How much one person really changed that O line. It looked better. And at the end of the day, they had Myles Garrett out there. It's not like we were playing a shitty ass defensive line. We were playing good. So at the end of the day, hopefully consistency happens. Consistency is key, and it's on to Denver, right? But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It's frustrating, man. Mm-hmm. Like, we had so many opportunities to put the game away offensively, and we failed to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole reason why they were able to march back is because we went 3 and out deep in our own, you know what I'm saying, on our own side of the ball. And he was having Minshew dropping back, you know what I'm saying? And that, it ain't working. Like, I understand that you have your adjustments in the first half, you know what I'm saying, and you go into the second half. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Where do we score where do we score our touchdowns? On an outside run, an outside play on the, you know what I'm saying, in the run game. Tucker and Turner, right? So why did we go away from that in the second half? There was no need to. They didn't stop it, so why did we stop it? And that's on Luke Getsy.
Yeah. I just hope they get it together, man. It's still early in the season. Like I said, 2-2. It's not that bad. Could have been worse, right? We could have been 1-3. But hope Max Crosby may not be a go this upcoming week, of course. And we'll talk about Davante Adams more right now, y'all. Don't worry. But I just want to get the preview out of the way. We're playing the Broncos this week. It's Broncos interdivision matchup. Max Crosby did not participate today. Devon Diablo, Thayer Munford, Cameron Richardson, Michael Mayer, Muaga, Davante Adams, Dylan Parham, Tyreek McAllister, Colton Miller, Jaquorian Bennett, Isaiah Palamal did not participate. Though all those names did not participate today. All those names I just read. Again, if you guys didn't hear me, Max Crosby, Devon Diablo, Thayer Munford, Cameron Richardson, Michael Mayer, Muaga, Davante Adams, Dylan Parham, Tyreek McAllister, Isaiah Palamau did not participate today. Who limited participation today? Trey Taylor, Zamir White, Luke Masterson, full participant, Jacorian Bennett. So there's those couple things. And another thing to monitor is the Michael Mayer situation, Twan. And I wanted to get your take on it. How do you feel about Mayer's not being there because of personal reasons? Take it away.
Honestly, I really don't. I actually choose not to really speak on that.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to be insensitive
Instead, yeah.
to what may be going on, and I'll say this in another reference. For those that are in the Bay Area, there was a time where Wiggins was away because of some personal reasons, and it really was because he had a sickness in the family. So I don't want to be insensitive to that. Tommy Eichenberg had the same situation. They had him away for personal reasons, and we just kind of had to let that be. So we may know, down the line what actually happened, or that may not come out, but I don't think it's anything. I'm foreseeing, just because of the way Mayer is with the way he is character wise, and him wanting to be a leader of this team. I don't think is anything drama worthy per se. So that's kind of my take on that.
I just wanted to get the take, obviously, that's a thing to monitor at least. That's what I'm gonna say. Something to monitor. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully if it's something serious, I hope he gets that solved and everything's good and stuff like that. But of course, what's wrong with Palamau? Palamau, also personal reason, NIR, personal reason himself. So there's that. Max Crosby still with his ankle, and obviously Michael Mayer with his personal reason as well. But I'll get behind whoever is our starter come game day. That's a fact. We winning Sunday. Okay, another AP mystery, personal reasons. Right. No one knows what's going on with Mayer. Could be family related. Could be.
You know what, Eric, though, just trying to understand, just trying to reflect on past years. I think this is the first time we've got this many personal reasons. Not saying that as an excuse, I'm just saying, people,
it's the most we had in a recent
time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that is, or whatever the situation is, but they're using it for, whatever those reasons may be.
Facts. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. North Cal Raider Jesse was good. Good to see you. Hope all is well. My Raider Pete, personal reason as in family issues, or like Chandler blow up, or like Crybaby. It could be either or, right? Until we get more further information, then we'll speak on it. You feel me? Because it could be family issues, right? And we could be talking shit, right? But like I said, we're gonna wait. We're gonna monitor. Something to monitor. I will say that, right? But I hope everything's good with him. But monitor, right? The Raiders are the new Browns, man. I hate as much as I hate that kind of looks like it, bro. And I don't want to be them, bro. But obviously, there's always just one Raiders, man. It's Raider Nation. It's us, man. And we always got to go through some bullshit, right? So here's the thing I wanted to go back on with the Broncos. Of course, just to give a quick preview and stuff like that of the things that's gonna go on against the Broncos. The Broncos themselves have a quarterback that has only scored 1 touchdown in 4 weeks. And on top of that, only threw for 60 yards last week. And it's in Bo Nix. A lot of people said Bo Nix to the Raiders. We're playing Bo Nix and the Broncos. They're starting to get a defense that's looking pretty damn goddamn good now with Van Joseph, stuff like that. So that's something to monitor there. Hopefully our offense could kick their ass there. Hopefully, right? The words hopefully. But our defense, man, I hope we could get Max Crosby back. But if we can't, he kind of came on a podcast. I don't know if you guys heard the podcast. On the podcast, he pretty much said, hey, if I have to pretty much take another week off, I will, to get back healthy and give it my all, because he doesn't want the same thing to happen. This is the first time he's ever missed a game in the collegiate level, high school level, and professional level. So to him, he felt it was weird. And of course, who knows, man, what that could be. I hope it's not too much, but I do know that they want him to be good. He even said it too. He's like, he understands where they're coming from, why they want him pretty much at home and stuff like that. And I kind of see Jesse say here, what's up with Max not being on the sideline? It has to do more with, they asked him, hey, we need you to get healthy as possible, rest up, lay down, stuff like that to get more possible. And, he had a podcast, Jesse. I don't know what podcast it was. I seen a clip though. He said, hey, this was the first time I missed something. It felt weird, but I know they want the best for me for my future. And, at the end of the day, this is a long-term thing, and that he's going to do everything he can to come back fully healthy and make an impact, because he knows how much of an impact he can make on that defense. So hopefully for me, all I could ask for is him to get healthier, recover good, and get out there and give it his full potential. Because we've seen last year with the Kansas City Chiefs and this year, recent time against the Panthers, when he's injured, he doesn't look like himself, and we need him to look like himself. So that, I'm not going to feed too much into it just because of that. But obviously, if we get more in depth with it and more details, then obviously we could go at it, right? Stuff like that. And of course, with the Broncos, like I said, little preview on them. They have a really good defense. They're starting to get it going, and that defense is ferocious. That offense is shit, though. They're probably in the same caliber of us. They have a good defense, shit offense. Now, it's all a matter of time of who's going to get it together. Who's going to get it together first in this game? That's the question, right? But obviously, I don't know. I can't predict it. I don't know about you, Twuan, but I can't predict who's going to get it together this game, man.
This game is very similar, like you said. I completely agree with you. They have a really good defense, and their offense is not clicking, and that's where we are too. We're really not clicking now. We've seen flashes here and there. You know what I'm saying? We've seen the Brock Bowers flash every once in a while. We've seen, you know what I'm saying, but not to where we need to be after 4 games. So it's a situation where it could really go any way, really. And I hate to say it like that because we've been knowing to beat the Broncos, you know what I'm saying, for years and years, you know what I'm saying, is past, but it's ugly, you know what I'm saying? And I think this defense, even with their defense, I think their defense is a little more scarier than a lot of people give credit to.
Yeah.
And they're forced just like us, you know what I'm saying? They're forced defensively to carry the load of the offense.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I think it's really going to be ugly.
Yeah, for me, I'm not going to give a prediction. Like I said, since last week, I'm going to just take it week by week, and hopefully they win. At the end of the day, for me, I'm believing, right? At the end of the day, all I could do is believe in the team. I always do this every season, no matter what. At the end of the day, I've been a fan since I was born. I'm never going to switch up on the Raiders. I'm not going to say, I hope the Raiders lose. I would never say that. I'm hoping they win every single week, no matter who the opponent is. And, I just hope they could get this W. It's another thing of not predicting and just watching for me. It's going to be an interesting Sunday. And I hope that the next man up mentality is there in case we miss people. And I hope that, this offense could get it together. But we'll see what happens. I don't know, man. I just hope, everything gets it together from the offense to the defense, injuries and just the organization, man, and the Raiders in general, man. Because this goes back to the Davante Adams situation, man. And I could, you guys could tell by the tone of my voice, it's just disappointing. All it is just disappointing. It's like every year is the same old shit. And it's irritating, and I hate seeing good players go every single fucking time shit happens, bro. And it sucks, and it's a revolving door. And this is the life of the Raider fan, man. This is the life we chose. You feel me? This is the life we chose. We just gotta keep our heads up and continue every goddamn week, hoping we win and hoping that one year we're gonna fucking get to that Super Bowl. But right now, shit is not looking good. And like I said, I'm believing. At the end of the day, all I could do is believe, but. I could just shake my head, Twuan. I could just shake my head, man.
It's frustrating, when you have situations like this, every year. It's like, okay, especially like for me this year, I was like, man, okay, we ain't got too much drama, You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know, of course we got injuries, whatever. That is what it is. You know, I can deal with the X's and O's part of the situation, but you know, when when you have the possibility of losing players and stuff like that, especially key players, like it seems like we got to do this every year. You know what I'm saying? And like some of the people were saying in the chat is like, why do we have to keep going through this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why do we have to keep going through this? And why does it always seem like as soon as we get somebody, we can't keep them? You know, but I'm still keeping hope alive. There's no ink to paper yet. We haven't got, it's not official, but if it leans toward that direction, you know what's going to happen. And then
Yeah.
and we can even talk about this too. Like, how many people have we let walk, and what did we get from them in return? Are we going to repeat that? Are we going to repeat that history?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Letting quality guys walk and not getting real value out of them. So hope if that's the case, I mean, you know, if DA has to go or whatever, I hope we change that part of it, because I'm tired of seeing, you know, top guys take that walk and us not getting anything for them.
Here's the thing, right? And it happens in recent time. If you guys look at all the trades that's happened, Roquan Smith, Stephon, you know, the list goes on and on. They don't get shit for it. And that's been the recent time right now. And that's the only thing that is, hey, we don't get it. Don't be mad when if the Raiders pull off a trade, it's a shitty trade, and you're like, what the fuck did we just do? It's just the fact that there's a lot of things that go into it, not only the cap space, but people don't really value players no more the way they value draft picks. They value draft picks higher than players, which is fucking crazy to me, but they do. And you know, I just hope that we could get a lot too. I do. I think the best case scenario, and obviously once it gets down to if really they can't solve nothing with Davante Adams and they can't solve nothing, then obviously then we could go further down the line of like, okay, this right here is looking like a possibility. This is right here. But as of right now, he requested it, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means he requested it and they're going to talk about it. And hopefully the talk goes good. But if it doesn't, there's destinations, the Jets, the Saints. Uh, I heard teams were already reaching out. I think a perfect scenario would be the Jets. I think the best case scenario is getting Hassan Reddick that doesn't want to play for the Jets, and then getting a couple picks behind that for Davante. So only time will tell, but they don't value players the way they used to, man. Of course, we are the Rays. That's what we do best, man. Detroit could be another one. Well, so how many of y'all think Davante will win us a Super Bowl? This year is looking tough. I would say that. I can't even predict that. Whatever the trade is, I'd be happy with it if it included Samir and Tyree. Cooper Mack, don't do then let Carr and Jacobs walk. Can't we just keep our players? A fact. I'm down with getting Reddick, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's the best case scenario as far as trade wise. And obviously, I'll drop a YouTube short to say it. I think Hassan Reddick and a couple picks would be good for Davante. And there you go, man. Their salaries are similar too. It'll be a win-win for both sides. They both kind of have the got to get rid of cap space, stuff like that. And also, on top of that, we're getting a defensive player that, hey, we need one because at the end of the day, are you really banking on Tyree Wilson? And you need another player on that side that wants to play, and Antonio Pierce is going to get him to play. And then on top of that, picks. Lattimore. I mean, hey, Lattimore's another one, right? The Saints could be another one. Is Lattimore still in the Saints? He is, right? I wasn't going to talk draft till the last game ended, but DA going with the quick feels on professional rush, it won't help us this freaking year. Other teams could have stars go on IR. We love to pay a lot of superstar players, then we don't know how to use them. Then we let the whole NFL know we don't plan on keeping them, and we try to sell them, and in the end, we let them walk. There you go, Jesse. I mean, you could have said worse. You feel me? If we do trade at Davante, shot to Circus to the Jets, we have to get Braylon back in the trade. If not, the Saints for Lattimore as part of the package is another good trade scenario. There you go, man. Couple. Raiders are years away from Super Bowl. Raiders need a legit head coach and quarterback one. Let's be real. We'll see, man. We could only hope, right? I see us moving. Shout out to Ducky the Butcher. Um, he says, I see us moving on as a chance to make it to the Super Bowl in the next 3 years with the proper trade. Hey, so depressing being a Raiders fan, bro. That's a fact. Lake Show. We need to fix this offense. It's taking a large step in the wrong direction. That's a fact, man. So obviously, we'll talk about Davante has more down the line once it gets more clear. But there's a lot of reports saying that they got inside sources that it looks like the Jets, looks like this, looks like that, looks like that. We don't know, man. We don't know. I believe in AP. I think AP is not the problem. I mean, as much as he's done bad stuff in the first few weeks of bad calls, I still think that he wants to win, and I think he's still the best head coach right now we could get. And I think it's more of the capability of the players, like quarterback situation and the offensive coordinator. I think those are two guys that probably take the more blame than AP, in my opinion. Go ahead.
And to be honest with you, man, I think we're in. I hate to say this because it might add a little more drama to it, but I think there's a whole lot more that they're not saying to us. You know what I'm saying? And based off the information we have, I think there's a whole lot of other conversations that have gone on. And if you listen to the last press conference with Antonio Pierce, even though he was trying to filter some things, you can kind of tell that there's been some conversations, that have not been released. And it's just really up to how those conversations go and what are actually said in those conversations. We don't know what has been said.
It's a fact. Nobody's trading their best active defensive player in a high pick for DA, but giving us a 1 and 2 with some cash, that'd work. Could work. Could work. Could work. And if you guys can, everybody comment on it, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Hey, a lot of Raider content to stay tuned, man. A lot of moving parts, a lot of things happening. Who knows, right? Reddick 4th and 6th for a 5th and 7th. It's interesting, man. We'll talk about trade scenarios further down the line, right? It definitely starts at the top, above the head coach. They don't want to put on a silverback or get him the fuck out of here. Want to win, look to Washington. They got a legit coach who knows how to handle elite players. Davante isn't a diva. Yeah, Davante isn't a diva, man. I think it's just always been a writing on the wall, and just, a lot of people like me specifically, I always had it in the back burner, like in the back of my brain, but I always didn't want to put no negative things in the atmosphere, like, oh yeah, DA does want to go. I always wanted to get more insight and stuff like that, but 100% I never wanted to put that in the atmosphere until it was true, and now it's true. The writing was always on the wall, since the card got left, regardless of what you think about him. It's just what the reality of it. No need to get rid of. He wants 20 million a season and is a diva. Hey, man, whatever we could get is whatever we could get. I hope what I'm hoping for, right? And this is what I could hope for, and this is my take, right? I could only hope that Davante Adams and Antonio Pierce sit down with Tom Telesco and everybody. They sit down, even Mark Davis in the room, talk, communicate, and see what they could do moving forward. The trade deadline's in November. If the solution is do everything you can to go trade for a quarterback, do it. Do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Do it. Now, what quarterback could that be? I can't give you a name right now. I can't. I have to see who's available, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, communication. I always learned this. Communication is key no matter where you're at the job, at work. That's the same thing, at work, or even in places like this in the YouTube world. Communication is key. If you don't got communication, you don't got shit. And that's a fact. Now, hey, it's only time will tell with this situation.
I think they are communicating, because I think, again, back to that press conference, because that press conference, there was, like I said, there was filtered things, but there was also things that were said. And one of the one of the beat writers asked, like, hey, is this decision based on, you, or is it, and they're like, no, it's Coach Antonio Pierce said it's everybody. He's all, it's me, Telesco, and Mark Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all coming together. So hopefully they are having those conversations, and whether DA stays or DA goes, at least, hopefully in those conversations they have a game plan on what they're going to do moving forward. I think I hate to say it like this, as early it is in the season, I think we're we might have to just kind of pack it up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying tank or anything, but I think they're kind of looking down the road. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They kind of realize what's going on right now. Like, of course, they're gonna coach everybody up, and hopefully we can get some wins or whatever. But I think they're really trying to say, okay, we know what we need to do for next year. Let's try to work towards that. And I think that's the reason. Another reason why the exploration of, who wants to, get a deal, or who wants to, what I'm saying, to see kind of where they are in that range too for next year.
Yeah, that's a fact. And and I see a lot of people still. Let me just get to some of the comments real quick. The organizers like
Yeah.
Dopamine, they're gonna have to hit rock bottom before they wake up. Fuck legacies outside of the silver and black. Shut up and play. Win no matter the roster and around you. Can we get Kate Adams in the trade? Da not being a leader. Da not being a team player. If player is only worried about his personal accolades, he is not devoted to the team. And we'll see, man. We got to see more details. But as of right now, there's a lot of things getting said, man, across the world. So I'm just hoping that we could get a little further, more understanding of the situation. Actually, I'll bring up what Ian Rappaport said. Let me try to get it real quick. Give me just 1 minute. Let me see if I could get it real quick. Go ahead while I get this.
Yeah, I think the personal accolades. I think I know a lot of people want to hang their hat on. Oh yeah, DA wants personal accolades. Like, I understand that aspect of it, but I think along with the personal accolades is, dang, can I get somebody to throw me the ball? Like, if someone can throw me the ball, then I'll be good. So that it ties in with the personal accolades. Obviously, if he had a better quality quarterback, obviously he would be getting the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's solely on the numbers. I think it's just the fact that there ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Obviously they want to stick with Minshew, but obviously Minshew and, you know what I'm saying, and him are not on the same page for whatever reason that may be. And I really hate to be, the hater in this situation, but if you ask me who's really on top of it versus who may not necessarily be on top of it, I'm leaning towards DA in this situation.
Yeah.
So, it's frustrating because it does tie in, the numbers versus, but if you ain't got nobody to throw you the ball, you'd be frustrated too.
Yeah. Let me see if I could. I think I got it. Give me a second. Let me share my screen real quick for you guys to say what Ian Rappaport had to say about the situation. This is all the information you pretty much got on the situation. Let me share my screen. Here you guys go. Hold on, let me share it real quick. Here you guys go.
Up to stop this trade from happening this week. Like, if the trade happens, obviously there are scenarios. There are several factors, Tom, that are stacking up to stop this trade from happening this week. Like, if the trade happens, obviously there are scenarios where Davante Adams walks back into the Raiders office and says, you know what? This team is good. I want to be a part of it. I want to keep going here. But for the foreseeable future, until that changes, we are going to go forward with Davante Adams wanting to be traded. And yes, I don't believe it is going to happen this week. First of all, he's not healthy. He is still nursing hamstring injury that, as we've talked about, obviously not going to play this week. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see the field again until the situation is at least resolved in some form or fashion, whether that's a trade, whether it's him getting back in the fold, or however. We know there are several teams interested. Obviously, a couple of those own quarterbacks are. We know that Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are for sure interested. They're one of the teams that called in the offseason. The New Orleans Saints in the past have called about potentially trading for Davante. Last year, when everyone thought he was going to be traded, they're one of the teams as well. Pittsburgh Steelers have been in the market for a receiver. Wouldn't be surprised. They are in the mix. The Baltimore Ravens, always looking for a receiver. Would be a tighter cap fit. But certainly something they could make that work. 49ers have yet to activate Ricky Pearsall, their rookie. Would be another one to potentially consider. They are going to have a market. It sounds like the Raiders, Mike, are going to want a lot, and they should. Davante Adams is a very, very good player suddenly available in the middle of the season.
There you go. So that's all we got, pretty much. Bring back Mac Hollins. Shout out to another Raider. Nate in the building. What's good, Nate? Good to see you, man. Being a Raider fan is like being in an abusive relationship. I'm not going anywhere. Davante has handled the situation more grace than people realize. He should have shown his ass a year and a half ago when the writing forced appeared on the wall. Raider fans need to be patient and learn how to win. I believe if we allowed McDaniels to fully develop this team in 3 years, would be in a Super Bowl. But Davis listened to the fans and killed the progress. Well, I kind of disagree with that. Actually, not kind of. I totally disagree with that. Josh McDaniels ain't it. But I will say the 3 years for a coach is better. I think that somebody like Antonio Pierce needs 3 years at the end of the day. I think Antonio Pierce has a higher chance than McDaniels in that head coaching, and that doesn't say very much. I mean, either. At the end of the day, Antonio Pierce is not a head coach yet. I still think that he's got a long way to go in learning, but he's learning and he wants to win at the end of the day, right? He wants to learn. So,
but like the whole, like that guy said about I'm not reading the fully reading it, but he was talking about how he DA should have showed his butt the first year when Carr left. Like I understand that, like he could have made noise then, but I think DA was like, hey, this is my home team. Let me go ahead and write this out. Let me see what the rookie, saying, because at that time it was like, Aiden O'Connell was the guy. So, okay, let me see what the rookie can, what the rookie's talking about. I'm saying? I'll give him a shot since I'm already here. So, I see why DA didn't make noise then, but then he still made it. From there, he still made it clear that he likes AOC. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the guy that he wanted to be the quarterback. So, and then you exit that one and say, oh, Minshew's better. You know what I'm saying? Now he decides to make noise, and I'm not mad at him at that either. But I do get the whole he should have made noise the first time. Like, but he was trying to wait it. He's giving us some grace. I'll say it like that. People want to talk about DA and him being a diva. I think he's giving us a whole lot of grace in regards to you know what I'm saying, the lack of the quarterback position, if you want to group AOC into that too.
Shout out to we the people at Jeremy Stutz, everybody coming in, man. Shout out to y'all, and of course, man, the Browns, we got a dub. We scratched our way out of that with depth, and then obviously the Davante Adams situation, something to monitor, as well as the Michael Mayer situation and Max Crosby, everything to monitor, and also see how this Raiders do with all this adversity. Once again, another year of a lot of shit getting thrown at us. Now, what are they gonna do? Who knows, right? But only time will tell, man. And of course, the Broncos this week. Hopefully, we could get that dub. We could only believe. Believe, man. Hopefully they could go against all that adversity and all that shit. Hopefully they could get past it, and hopefully once again they could come out with the W. But before we end it off, man, you already know a lot of Raider content to come from both of our channels, man. And Twuan, with everything going on, man, let them know when's your next live stream video, shit you got coming on. Let them know, man. Let them know.
Man, I'm gonna try to stay to this schedule, man. Who Ate the Brown Crackers is always gonna be released on Tuesdays. Look out for that. You know what I'm saying? 2 for 1 Nation podcast on Wednesdays. Thursdays is usually when I drop the little video segment of what you do on Wednesdays. For those that don't catch the live, I usually drop that on Thursday. And then the game plan, I'm really leaning towards Fridays, doing it on Fridays, and then having my Saturdays open. So definitely I'm doing content at least 3 or 4 times a week. Go ahead and subscribe over at Raider Twuan. If you are on the SC Raiders Talk, come on over and hit that subscribe button. We're all brothers here. Again, we're 2 brothers, but our channels are linked together. So if you are on my channel, definitely come on over to my brother Eric, hit that like button and subscribe. And like I always close out my videos, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else.
I swear, Jesse, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying, man. The team you come to learn how to coach and then you graduate and move on. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. Jesse ain't lying with this, man. That's what it's looking like, man. And it sucks. The way Pete said right here, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. What are you doing Wednesdays, man? What the fuck are we doing, man? I don't know what we doing, man. Another year of shitness and dumb. I just hope I could just hope, man. And all I could do is just hope. I'm not getting my hopes up completely, but I have a little hope that, man, the shit could get together. I'm hoping that in a world of unicorns, rainbows, and and a Super Bowl, a Lombardi getting hoisted by the Raiders, in a world, that special world, we solve this situation. Davante Adams doesn't get traded. We get a good quarterback. The offensive coordinator gets the shit together, and we look like a Super Bowl team. That's in a faraway world, though.
Luke Getsy got saved this week because I'm not feeling the best. I was struggling trying to get through this show, but yeah, if he come up another week, he gonna get the full clip. I couldn't give I couldn't give him the full piece today. You know what I'm saying? But next time, if he don't get it together, definitely he gonna get the full clip because I'm on the Getsy bus with his play calling. Yeah.
It's Broncos week, y'all. Donkeys week. Let's get this dub. Let's do this again. I'm gonna try to get a YouTube short going this week to preview the game, a little 60 seconds with visual stuff like that for you guys, man. But hey, let's do this. You're also gonna see me on another show on Friday, man. I think Friday, I believe. Yes. I could say, man, hey, you'll see me, man. Shout out to Raider Ben. I'm be here Friday, late night. You feel me? Around this time. Go check it out. Go subscribe to my boy Raider Ben, man. Also subscribe to my boy, everybody that's in the channel right now, supporting stuff like that. You guys seen Avakazi Raider, man. He's doing good. It's good to see him doing good. Go subscribe to him, man. Go subscribe to Westside Media and stuff like that. He does a show with Raider Critique. Shout out to Raider Critique out there, man. Has been doing this for a very, very long time, man. Go support him with his previews and post games and all these things, man. Good to see and Earn. Good to see you back, man. Good to see you back doing content. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody coming on in, man. If I missed you and you have a channel, man, hey, I hope your channel's doing good. And salute to everybody, man. And anybody that wants to do a collab, hit me up. And I'm done with all that. I'm jumping on the Raider Earn train until we prove it otherwise. Hey, understandable, man. I can't even hate on it. I legit can't even hate on it, bro. I'm this close. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hanging by a thread. But at the end of the day, I'm a Raider fan, man. I'm gonna support them. And you know, I just hope they could get this shit together, man. I just hope that's all I could do. But we'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for a YouTube short coming soon, man. And of course, hopefully we get that dub on Sunday. Shout out to my Dodgers. You feel me? This baseball, but we're in the playoffs. I'm going to the playoff game on Sunday. So if anybody's going to the Dodger game on Sunday, man, I'll be there for sure. And yeah, hopefully we get this dub and hopefully next week is better news. But on that note, y'all, for me, I might change my times. Stay tuned for that. But I make business decisions myself. I make business decisions on my channel, so go subscribe to my boy Twuan, man. He's being consistent more than me. Go subscribe, man. And again, salute to you guys, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, man. Hit the sub. My first time on y'all channel. I'll be back. Raiders boss. Salute to you, Joseph, man. I appreciate everybody coming on in, man. I appreciate it, man. And hopefully you guys like the content. I try to bring energy. Today was just one of those days where it's like, damn, why is this shit happening again? But of course, man, always bringing the energy over here. D asking for trades like when your girl breaks up with you because her parents don't like you. Getsy alone has made me a pessimistic this season. I usually believe until week 6, and Getsy changed that to week 3. You ain't lying, man. But of course, like always, man, you know, you could, hey, there's one thing we could agree on, man. We could never get too much of this together.
Yes,
See you guys on the next one, man. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. Tough time never less, but tough people do. Life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And let's go Trojans, fight on as well, man. Y'all hating on USC. You're hating on USC, man. But on that note, y'all, SC Raiders talk. Raider Twuan, man. Home of the Brown Crackers and the congregation. And home of the stack them up, hit them likes, man, and stuff like that. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. We'll catch you guys next week with the both of us. Peace out.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players could get the greatest coaches. The great games we've played in, the flame that would